Hello and welcome to another session of the My Solo 401k Financial Daily Webinar Series. If you have questions or topics that you'd like to discuss, please chat those over now so that we can be sure to get to them. As always, the presentation is being presented for educational purposes only. It should not be construed as tax, legal, or investment advice, nor as a solicitation. When making an investment decision, please consult with your tax attorney and financial professional. So we want to welcome you to our daily Solo 401k webinar and Q&A session with My Solo 401k Financial, where we help you to stop overpaying taxes and start building real retirement wealth. Today's topic is Rocket Dollar won't file 5500 EZ or 1099R. What now? How to upgrade and avoid compliance risk. This is your chance to get answers. Please use the chat now to ask questions on today's topic or anything else. Again, please chat them over now so that we can be sure to get to them all. So there was a recent communication, again, based on client experience and feedback from Rocket Dollar to its clients regarding servicing changes, regarding compliance, specifically that Rocket Dollar was no longer going to be supporting 5500 EZ or 1099R filings as part of its service. So we want to go over that announcement, the what those requirements are, what those filings are, when they need to be filed, and solutions for those Rocket Dollar clients so that they can continue to work with a provider that can handle those filings. So with that in mind, let's start to go through the topic. So the announcement, service discontinuation. Rocket Dollar has notified clients that they will no longer support the preparation or filing of two critical IRS documents, Form 5500EZ and Form 1099R. As a result, clients are now solely responsible for ensuring these filings are completed accurately and on time to maintain plan compliance. So let's understand when those forms need to be filed. So there's two forms at issue here, Form 5500 EZ and Form 1099R. So we want to talk about both of the forms. So Form 5500 EZ is an informational filing that needs to be filed once the value of your solo 401k plan assets exceeds $250,000. So that's the threshold above which triggers the 5500 EZ filing requirement. Now, in calculating whether the threshold has been met, one needs to include the value of the investments, the value of the accounts, even any defined benefit plan assets. So there are a fair number of clients in our client base, for example, that have a solo 401k plan, but also have a defined benefit plan for their business. And so, in determining whether the threshold has been met under the rules, you need to include the value of both the defined benefit plan assets as well as the solo 401k plan assets. Now, of course, if you don't have a defined benefit plan, then you don't need to include it. In that case, you would just be looking at those solo 401k assets, the accounts, all the different sub accounts. So, for example, if you have multiple participants, like say a husband and wife that are both participating in the business, then all those different sub accounts need to be included in determining whether the threshold has been met. Now, it's the key date is as of December 31st of the end of the year. So once the value exceeds this $250,000 as of December 31st, that's going to trigger the filing requirement. And so the 5500 EZ is an informational tax filing. In other words, taxes are not being paid, but information needs to be reported about the plan. So that's going to include, for example, the value of the plan assets as of the beginning of the year, the value as of the end of the year, contributions, whether a loan was ever taken, so the value of any outstanding loan, among other pieces of information. My solo 401k Financial, for its clients, offers 5500 EZ filing as an optional free service. So we'll talk about how Rocket Dollar customers could upgrade their plan to a plan provided by my solo 401k financial so that they can maintain the compliance of their solo 401k plan. And the stakes are high because a daily late fee will accrue if the 5500 EZ filing is not taken care of. It's $250 per day. So those late fees can accumulate to a very high amount. Now let's start to lay the foundation in understanding the Form 1099-R, and then we'll discuss possible solutions for Rocket Dollar customers. So a 1099-R is additional reporting that has to be done with respect to a 401k plan. Now, the Form 1099-R is based on events. So the 5500 EZ is based on the value of the plan assets. The 1099-R needs to be submitted when there are certain transactions that occur. So these would include, for example, if money is leaving the plan. So if there's a distribution, it could be a taxable distribution or it could be a rollover to another retirement account, such as such as an employer plan or an IRA. In addition, a 1099-R will have to be issued with respect to conversions. So this could be moving funds from the pre-tax solo 401k account to the Roth solo 401k account. So an in-plan pre-tax to Roth conversion, or moving money from the after-tax solo 401k account to the Roth solo 401k account, which is part of a mega backdoor Roth solo 401k contribution strategy. So in all of these events, moving money out of the plan or moving money within the plan from a pre-tax to Roth or after-tax to Roth, these are all events that need to be reported on a Form 1099-R. So again, Rocket Dollar has sent communications to their clients based on client feedback that they'll no longer handle either of these, the 5500 EZ or the Form 1099-R. So what now for Rocket Dollar customers? What are their options? Well, there's always been a process to switch plan providers. So that process is referred to as a restatement. So when someone restates their plan, you could think of it as a cut and paste, where they're replacing their 401k plan documents with plan documents provided by a new provider. So, for example, the Rocket Dollar customer could cut out their Rocket Dollar provided plan documents with plan documents provided by a new provider, such as my solo 401k financial. And for those Rocket Dollar customers that have upgraded their plan to our plan, now we prepare the 5500 EZ. We prepare the 1099-R as an optional free service for our customers. They just need to let us know, for example, once the value of the plan exceeds $250,000 so that we can add their plan to our list, to the queue, so that we can guide them through the 5500 EZ filing requirement. And we, as part of that process, we prepare the 5500 EZ. We prepare it under the electronic filing system to make it easy for the customer. In addition, since we don't have access to the accounts, customers would let us know if there's an event for which a 1099-R needs to be issued. So if there's a distribution, if there's a conversion, etc. And we have forms on our website where they can provide us the information that's needed so we can prepare the 1099-R. We can add it to the queue to prepare the 1099-R. And all of this is offered again as an optional free service for customers as long as they provide us the information in a timely fashion. In other words, we don't charge to prepare the 5500 EZ. We don't charge to prepare the 1099-R for customers who provide us the information in a timely fashion. And this is important to keep the solo 401k plan in compliance. So the process again is referred to as a restatement. You could think of it as a cut and paste of the plan documents. So that means you don't necessarily need new accounts, because for Rocket Dollar customers, based on experience, for those that have upgraded, they typically have accounts already opened up under the name and EIN number of the plan. A separate EIN number, in other words, was obtained for the solo 401k. So when they upgrade their plan documents, they'll typically keep the same name, keep the same EIN number. So now they can keep their existing bank or brokerage accounts that had been previously opened for their Rocket Dollar plan documents. Now the plan documents have been upgraded to the plan documents provided by my solo 401k financial, but those documents are drafted under that same name. So they, if they want to, they could just keep those same accounts, but now those accounts will be governed by the plan documents provided by my solo 401k financial. Of course, if they want to open up new accounts, we will help them do that either as part of the onboarding process as they're upgrading to our plan documents or later, because we always help customers open up new accounts. So, for example, the individuals may just have bank accounts for their Rocket Dollar plan, and either as part of the upgrading process or at some point in the future, they may want to add brokerage accounts. So we'll help them open up new brokerage accounts for their restated solo 401k plan provided by my solo 401k financial. And then, of course, now that they're our customer, we offer the 5500 EZ, we offer the 1099R as an optional free service. So now they can keep their plan in compliance. So if they had been filing the 5500 EZ, but now Rocket Dollar has notified them that they're no longer going to provide that 5500 EZ support, they can upgrade to our plan document, and we can now step in and help file that 5500 EZ going forward. There are additional benefits to upgrading to our plan document, and that is going to be specifically, among other benefits, but specifically here is tax credits. So our solo 401k plan documents make the self-employed business or individual, if it's a sole proprietor, eligible to claim $1,500 in solo 401k tax credits. So these credits are available to a plan that includes an auto enrollment feature. So we automatically draft the documents to include the feature and the required notices that are needed to be eligible for the credit. This credit is not just available to new plans, it's also available to upgraded plans, to restated plans. So if the Rocket Dollar plan didn't include the automatic enrollment feature and the required notices, such that the business was not eligible to claim these credits, as part of upgrading to our plan documents, now they'll be eligible for the tax credits. So these credits are $500 per year for 3 consecutive years. So if the plan is upgraded in 2025 and we draft those restated plan documents within the same business day when someone signs up, but if it's upgraded here in 2025, now they'll be eligible. Now that individual would be eligible to start claiming those credits, $500 per year for 3 consecutive years when they file their 2025 tax return. Now, keep in mind that establishing or adding that auto enrollment feature is going to set a 3% default contribution percentage, automatic 3% default contribution percentage. But the solo 401k participant has the right, as the participant, to opt out of the 3% default contribution percentage. Opting out of the 3% default contribution percentage doesn't mean that the business is not eligible to claim the credit. They just simply exercise their right to opt out of the default, which now allows them to contribute in whichever amount or schedule they prefer, obviously subject to the limits and the deadlines, but they can still claim the credit because they still have the feature, they still receive the required notices. So exercising their right to opt out of the default doesn't mean that they're not eligible to claim the credit. They still are. All right, that takes us to the end of the slides that we wanted to share today. Thank you so much for joining today's session. If this information is helping you feel more confident about your future, please take 1 second to like and subscribe. Liking tells the platform, whether you're on LinkedIn or YouTube or X or Instagram, it tells the platform that the content is valuable. So that's going to help other solopreneurs, other advisors like you find it. Subscribing guarantees you get notifications of all of our crucial content that we deliver every day to help you secure your retirement. We also want to invite you to our community. We have the largest community of solopreneurs, solo 401k owners around these topics. Please don't hesitate to join at mysolo401k.net/my community. It's totally free to join. All are welcome. It's not just limited to clients, so advisors, other interested parties are more than welcome. You can quickly and easily join at mysolo401k.net/, my community. So please don't hesitate to do so. Well, it looks like that's it for today's Solo 401k session. Thank you so much for investing your time with us. Your time is valuable and your retirement future is worth it. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe so we can keep building this community. We'll be back here tomorrow with more crucial content to help you secure your retirement.